Constitution is the only one that was enforced by the state. Senator, state, or fed, it depends. It really depends on how you just word it. Listen, everything is based on how you define it in your law system. So in this world, it says the senator is of the state in the treason penal code. So that is what we could use to define a state level. And considering it all says of the state would mean that anything below the state level, which is any property, any person, anything inside Los Santos except for the senators or the Senate office, is not state-owned government. So it's impossible to take even land from the state because it is owned by the local government, which is the council and the judiciary and the mayor. So it's impossible for me to be charged as treason based on that as well. It's just not. It is literally not possible. You cannot take from the state if they are not in ownership of it. The ownership is granted to the people and the government that controls them, which is the local government. All right? The state or the feds could take it, but that's not how it works. Otherwise, technically, there would be no state ownership because the federal government would own everything because they're the level above. So arguing the point like that is also completely fucking stupid. It is impossible to argue it. You're either wrong or you're wrong. So it's either the Fed owns it or the local government owns it. The state literally cannot own it. It's impossible. It's not semantics. It is the word of the law, literally. And it is impossible. Do judges have to write on decisions? No, they don't. But I don't see why they wouldn't if it's based on state law and their altercations of it. Otherwise, I think it is a very big violation of, the general due processes in almost every court. We don't know the law. We're not told the law. We're just meant to enact and do the law in a democracy in which is meant to be a place that everything is voted. So if we don't know the law, they are failing in their duties, in my opinion. I don't think the judges are too dumb. They just didn't let me explain the specifications, but that's okay. That's fine, because now we can explain it in the next trial. And then if we explain that correctly, we can then use that evidence to mistrial if the first mistrial doesn't go through. And then once that's mistrialed, we can show the failure that's happening. Like, I mean, these guys defined of and from themselves, but they don't define the difference in the two words for some reason. I guess the English dictionary is irrelevant in the court of law. So we might need to write our own dictionary for every word in the Constitution, just so we know what the law is. That's literally to the extent we're going to have to go to understand the law. We need their dictionary of the law to understand the law. Crazy, but that's what I'm thinking. Isn't there a legal dictionary in the US? Well, that's what we're creating. That was the intention of this entire court system. The council and the judges are to create precedent and law through the city. But the precedents apparently are not released to the public. And their interpretation or understanding of the basic English language is apparently also how they can define the law. So if they think of and from is the same word or the same impliance, then apparently, I guess, we gotta have to ask for precedents of every single word in the Constitution with an understanding. Every word will need its own penal code. Well, it's a meaning of the word. That's literally what's gonna have to happen. Otherwise, I don't understand how it would ever work like this. I mean, we'll see though. Who knows? You know, there's obviously very easy ways to change law via the council that would make things make a little more sense. But from my understanding, even anything that goes against what the Constitution says, even if it's a council law, is technically going against the authority of the state. So when we get out, we need to look at every single fucking law the council has passed and see if it contradicts anything in the Constitution, because if it does, they are going against the authority of the state, because they have authority from the state, not of the state. It's a different level of authority. So we just really need to emphasize the of and from state levels, and we big chillin', I think, honestly.